Hey mom, it's me again, and everyone else. Listen, I got a young man here that I felt compelled to ask if he would give a little testimony. It's funny when we're in the light and we see the light in others' eyes, and then we start talking with them and sharing our spiritual experiences and things like that. I find that I'm not so unique. It's like I'm not the only one out here with this, chosen one attitude. Okay, we're all chosen, I guess, maybe just at different times. But anyway, what's your name, bro?
Dave.
Dave, my name's John, man. It's a pleasure
nice
meeting you.
brother.
So David here's got a little something he wants to share about when his spiritual awakening happened for him. Go ahead, brother.
So let's see, I'm 31 now, and the last 3 years, the economy has taken a big dive, and I didn't know. I was about 28 years old, living my life, and I had gone through my phases, gone up and down with recovery, and fell off the wagon about 28. And towards the end of that, I was had a good job, got certified septic technician. I was making $18 an hour, had my own company vehicle, had my own place. Life was good, and I had built in a foundation on faulty ground and wasn't aware of that. So I had this huge top that crumbled out from underneath me. And any rate, one thing came to another, and I had soon lost it all. And during that,
It's okay, man. Keep going. Lost it all?
during that situation, I didn't care. I had life handed to me, from just hard work, and didn't have a strong walk with the Lord. And once I lost it all, I ran on the streets for about 3 years and just about died. And the economy had taken such a drastic change, and I didn't know. I was, by the grace of God, I ended up in Eugene. I was wandering the streets out here in Portland, and one day I had it in my heart, I need to go to Eugene. So I called up my dad, and my dad arranges a co-worker to take me down to Eugene. And they dropped me off in Eugene, and I end up in this, I think it's Buckley. And I stayed at Buckley treatment for, let's say, a week. And within that week, they hooked me up with a place to go. It was a recovery house, and needless to say, I didn't make it far. Ended up relapsing on the way out, and then I was on the streets out in Eugene. Then after that, after I had relapsed, and I ended up back out on the streets in Eugene. Now this time I was in a different place, and I was still doing the same stuff. Hadn't got anywhere. Made a desperate attempt, and didn't make it. And so this time I was in a foreign place, didn't know anything or anyone, and I was living on the streets out there. And it was getting pretty bad. Finally, one day I said, God, I give up. I quit. I quit trying. I quit wanting to. I quit. And so I was going door to door making money, doing my hustle, trying to make money, and I had this spiel. Well, anyway, that's when I went to a couple's house, and there was a plaque on the wall, and it had a young man about the age of 15, and it said, in loving memory. And I thought, should I knock on this door? And I said, nah, that's not right,
Right.
And something compelled me to knock anyway, even though I didn't think I should knock. Nobody answered, and I walked off down the road. Well, this lady comes out, chasing me down. Young man, come back. And she asked me what I want, and I told her, hey, I'm homeless. I told her everything. I said I was hooked on drugs, and I'm looking for work.
Just a random door.
Yeah, and this lady says, okay, well, starts questioning me on plants and flowers, and I answered them correctly, and she says, okay, I'll tell you what, why don't you come on inside, and we started talking. Well, come to find out, her 15-year-old son had decided he wanted to go to New York one night, told his mom that he was working late at the library in Eugene, booked a flight to New York, disappeared. Well, when he got to New York, somehow something happened. He got off the train at the train station, and right as soon as he got there, he got hit by another train and died.
Oh my God.
And they don't know, they really don't have any closure, They've got a handful of witnesses Some say it was intentional, some say it wasn't, but that's not the point.
Right.
The point was, you know, she had recently lost somebody loved in her life, and she was going through her set of scenarios. And I think because of that, you know, later on in life, now that I'm able to look back, that because of that loss of life and where I was, we had this connection. She felt a bond and a charge to get to know me, if you will. So she had brought me in, and she put something in my pocket and said that I needed to go because her parents and her siblings were uncomfortable.
Did you know at the time what it was that was in your pocket?
No, I had no idea. So I walked down the road, and as I'm leaving, and I tell her goodbye, she asked me to come back on Saturday. I said, okay. It was $380.
Wow.
And I was homeless on the street, you know, and that was a big deal. So needless to say, I came back, did some work for her for a while, and you know, got to know her and her husband real well, and that went on for like 2 to 3 weeks, and I continued to go there and work and go out and buy my drugs, built this relationship with them, and finally they said, hey, well, we want to help you, you know. So they went and took me to the recovery home I got kicked out of, went and got all my belongings, and they moved me into their house.
Right.
And I stayed with them, and they took me back to Buckley. Well, Buckley didn't Subutex me the second time around, and I got real sick and I ended up leaving. Well, this whole time, you know, she'd been doing research and looking into drug addictions, and she knew nothing about it, but she presented me with an offer if I wanted to go to Serenity Lane. And of course I said yeah, you know, because at that time I had surrendered to God, and I said I'd give up, I'd do anything.
Did you have a knowledge of God growing up, or was it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you were brought up with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So that's good. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, she asked me if I wanted to go to Serenity Lane, and I agreed. Keep in mind, I'm thinking it's like Hooper or Buckley, you know, it's a 6-day stay at a treatment center, you know, that's low cost. I didn't know what it was. Well, we did an intake, and I soon realized that this place was the top of the line. And they asked me if I was ready to stay, and I said sure. And the lady goes, well, we're going to need the money up front. The counselor we were meeting with.
What?
And Donna goes, okay, how much? And she says, well, it's the 29-day stay is going to be $18,000.
Oh my God.
And I said, well, hold on, time out. So we went outside, and I said, I can't let you spend that kind of money. And she took me outside, and she says, you know what, don't worry, you're friends with millionaires now. And
what?
Yeah. And I ended up staying there, and it was a real big struggle because I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave, but with this dynamics, my addiction was so strong that I didn't think I was going to make it. But with the dynamic and the trifecta of her paying the money and knowing that her son had died and that I'm pretty much on my last shot going to die myself,
wow.
It kept me in there fighting. Well, they presented me with another opportunity while I was in there, and it was this new program called Excel. And it was like the last house on the block for the rowdy kid. And they came in, my family didn't come down, you know, they had washed their hands, they were tired of me, so my family did not show up, and they actually showed up in presence of my family for family counseling.
Wow.
And my counselor brought up the fact that I might have been manipulating this death of her son for whatever reason.
Personal gain.
Right, and you know, at the time, you know, I denied it, and you know, I was later on able to reveal my heart, and that's not what my intent was.
Of course not.
But it was very deep and very hairy, and it brought me to a new level. And I remember when they agreed, it was another like $12,000. So they paid almost $36,000
wow.
for me to go to treatment. And
wow.
it totally changed my life. You know, it was a love and hate relationship with my new counselor, because he showed me who I really was and what I'd become, and oh man, it was the worst feeling. I was so mad, I was cursing the Lord and everything, but needless to say, you know, I ended up leaving that program. And
where was this at again?
It's in Eugene.
Oh, in Eugene, okay.
And they're really big on the 12 steps. So I had gotten plugged into there because they make us go to a meeting every day.
Right.
So I'd built a network through Eugene of support and friends. So when I left Serenity Lane, it was a bad situation. And Ed and Donna decided that that was enough, and they didn't want to enable me. So I got clean and sober. Boom, now I'm on the streets of Eugene again. Well, I'd built this relationship with people that are living a different life, you know, as it says in the big book, we're all voyagers of a vessel, you know, on a ship together, and that couldn't be more true, you know, because I had met some of the best relationships in my life.
So, just, I don't mean to cut you off here, I just want to know, like, if you, because I know if you're like me, you've had some backs and forths until you finally got yourself together. I don't know if that's true, but are you still in touch with those people that helped you out, Ed and Donna?
Yeah, it's a rocky situation, you know.
There's a Rocky here. Hey, look here, Rocky. What's up, Rocky?
Anyway, though, I think it was kind of part of Donna's grieving process, and then once Ed kind of really got some information from the counselors and said, hey, you know.
Well, how long you been clean?
Now it's been about a year and a half. I had a slip up.
Okay.
I had a couple
all right.
operations.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to, because I got to wrap it up. We're about done here, but my last question is, when are you going to call them, and why haven't you? Real quick.
Oh, I've stayed in touch with her throughout letters and stuff.
Yeah, 'cause they need to know that what they did worked. It just took a little time.
Right, absolutely.
And God bless you, man. Thanks for sharing that.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, man. You have a good day.
All right, man.
All right, bye.
Caught me off guard. I actually got a little nervous.